Horace Good Stuff is back again with tier, and we have a hero profile from another regional that you're going to get the chance to see out here as well. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Welcome to the Hollywood, Florida Regional Breakdown, and yes, this is very, very purely heavy. I'm actually kind of surprised. We have had some abnormalities out in the regional playing field as of late where, you'll have some events where maybe one purely will do well, one rescue ace will do well, or, you'll have rescue ace being a dominating force. You'll have rescue ace taking a little bit more of a back seat. It's been very diverse across the field here, and seeing that purely was by far one of the most dominant decks here. Okay, and then of course we have, do you want me to tell you? Yeah, it was tier. YCSND taught us one thing about tier elements. Even though it might not feel like the craziest best deck in the room, players are going to innovate. And when players are out here trying to find ways to innovate the meta, they're going to find ways to kind of see, hey, like, what's going on here? Are we doing good? Like, are we finding some success? And they will find ways to do it. Now, we also had, one Unchained. Yeah, this has been a pretty standard story that we've been covering for most of the meta. Unchained is stuck around. We have a Rescue Ace Duelist. Well, that's pretty easy. We have an Infernoble Knight as well. I'm actually very intrigued with that because Infernoble has felt more roguish as of late, but it means it's getting the chance to do its thing. And then out of nowhere, we have what is classified as a Scareclaw deck. And, where's the Manadium cards? We're not bulking down on the fat now. We're actually back to good old Scareclaw. So that is your top cut for this event, and it's very, very interesting. The more that you are seeing these meta choices and how what might be the best deck in one region changes to the next. Passing over those deck lists. Our event here is essentially a Horus tier elements deck, but of course, this is just a 5-card splash package of one Hoppy, your triple M SETI, and one copy of the Sarcophagus. I remember when people told me that playing one copy of the Sarcophagus was incorrect and no topping list will ever do it. And oh boy, look at how we have come far along here. The prophecy has been foretold. I also see that this build is playing a copy of Destroyer, so a little bit extra value for some of your RNG milling factor. Must be nice. And then, of course, I see that we've extended out our hero package just a little bit. See that we are playing the one Denier with the 2 copies of Malicious. Interesting. And, of course, we have triple Scream back here. I also love the fact when we're analyzing these decks, getting a chance to see Scream ratios is always interesting. Just 2 Solic for this. We're not playing the 1 copy of Meta Noise. That's kind of interesting. A lot of people are pretty much sworn by Meta Noise at this point, so see that we've got a little bit of a cutoff there. Interesting. Outside of that, the fact they're citing the Doomsday Star does kind of make sense. And remember your horse packages to make sure that you can get to the vampire zombie guy here and initiate some extra mills. All right, you want to make sure that you can get that deck going, and what better way to do so than the biggest enabler of that. All right, what else we got going on back here? Oh wow, Infernoble managed to make 2nd place out here. Now, there are going to be a lot of things in here you're going to look at and you're going to go, okay, so yeah, we are playing double parallel Exceed. Well, who points down? Goki, the Power Load Ogre, points down for you. You have SP Little Knight, points down. And then, of course, Charles and the rest of them do also point down. So you can generate some value depending on, when you see these. To the people that are like, well, maybe should you play 3 parallel Exceed to see it? No. Most people will stick with your 2. And I see we are playing 1 copy of Fire Recovery. Target a fire in your graveyard, send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do special summon the targeted monster, then you can banish this from your graveyard, target 3 of your fire monsters that are banished and are in your graveyard, shovel them into the deck, and draw a card. You can only use this effect, Fire Recovery, once per turn. Yes, this is effectively a Fire Monster Reborn that also nets you a draw 1. You can thank the good people out here at Innovations Tech for showing us that stupid good cards like this do have a place in the meta, and See that we have some anti-magic arrows in here as well. Wow. And of course, we're citing the Angel Ring. That's a big change compared to a lot of the things that we've seen in this meta, because so many people look at Angel Ring and they're like, this is a mandatory card. Like, it does effectively change the way that this deck does play. And I think that that is kind of important. So, interesting. All right. We have, oh, hi Unchained. How are you? I'm going to be honest with you. Looking at how Unchained tends to play right now, this deck looks extremely linear. I do see we are playing 41. Okay, we were feeling a little bit more dangerous today than usual. I see that we do have some Mistaken Arrest down here in the side deck. I mean, what Unchained deck really isn't trying to play this card anymore? Like, this tends to be the go-to, you know, put pressure on the opponent so that you can go ahead and kind of do your thing. Honestly, outside of that, I don't really think you have a lot of room right now in Unchained to be doing some crazy innovations. Like, your deck kind of just feels like it gets figured out, and that's just that, all right? And it's kind of disappointing because I'd love to see some more innovation back here to Unchained, but it's not going to happen at this point in time. Most people have already got set in their ways, and there's no real point to change that. All right, we have Purely. When we're feeling tech choices today, I see. We've opted for enemy controllers in our build, which means we can take opponents' cards, or we can get our Purely monsters off of the field and start doing some sort of different lines. It really depends on what we need to do. You know, the fact one, switching something to defense mode to immediately answer it, check, or, you know, attributing something off of the field that's got being a targeted negate. That can also technically help. Also, dodging SP Little Knight with this is kind of cute, actually. Outside of that, I mean, we are playing Fenrir's. The ability to toggle into this card is extremely invaluable. And you are getting the chance to see Condemned Dark Lord down here being another one of those tech choices that we've been seeing edging on up as of late for the competitive metagame. But, okay, I mean, outside of that, it feels pretty standard. But that's a lot of your meta. All right. Here's our Scareclaw variant. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is, yeah, what's a mana DM card in the main deck? Don't need any of that garbage, you know? We can just roll good old Tryhard here, look at our opponent and go, no, you're not winning this game. That's essentially how this works. I mean, also, to be fair, I mean, all the additional benefits that these kind of pass on to your guys, the bulky attackers. Yeah, we know why this can do good. Also, I mean, I don't think, the way it looks at this regional, a lot of people didn't really have what felt like a lot of outs necessarily for this deck. So that's kind of interesting in and itself. That, you know, it's a very good meta call when players are not prepared for these types of things, and you can do very, very well. And of course, citing the one Scareclaw alternative, absolutely. Nothing else really to say about this. Now, we have one other piece of interesting things here for you out of another regional. This was the only deck list that was shared from its event, so I figured go ahead and toss it on in here because I did want to talk about this. You know what's very strange? We are playing the Flame Wingman because, I kid you not, we are playing Avian and Burcinatrix as well. That's not normal, actually. There are some little additional little clauses and things that you can do with the Infernal Rage that kind of get a little bit saucy, but you're also playing 52 cards. I know a lot of the hero community is going to look at this list and they're going to go, wow, this is kind of weird, but it did work out, all right? It was able to get third place out of its regional, and when you're challenging a lot of the standard meta, especially, you know, when a regional's, you know, top 8, if this got third place, this did overcome 7th, 8th, 6th, 5th, and 4th. That's a majority of the playing field. So, for whatever, you know, the flow of this deck might actually go, let's open some of these hands here. We open Miracle Fusion. Yeah, you can already tell I'm the best hero player in the whole wide world. Oh, look, we opened Malicious Stratos and Archangel. Wow, maybe I should not be allowed to play heroes. Hey, we opened D-Force Ferris. I mean, and Favorite Contact. Okay, well, I'm convinced that I'm just not allowed to play hero. But with 52 cards, you offset some of the dead draws. And hypothetically, everything should be kind of going in your favor for you. seems kind of reasonable to me. So what do you guys think about the breakdown for this event and DLC? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. See your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.